That was quiet. This is the world's quietest pistol. They call it the Hush Puppy. It's a beautiful collaboration between a Glock 19 and B&T. This isn't just another suppressed pistol. This is an entire system built on highly effective, quiet, controlled shooting. In today's video, I want to talk about what makes this Hush Puppy so quiet, because this is by far the most quiet pistol I've ever shot. I'm also going to cover all the questions that you guys are going to have, and trust me, there's a lot. But first, let's quickly cover what comes inside the box. Magazine loader, some extra grips, large, medium, and small. 3 magazines, 2 extended, 1 non-extended. You get the Glock 19 FDE. It does come in black, and we'll talk a little bit more about this in a second. You also get what they consider to be an extension or extra wipes, 2 boxes of ammo, a little tool. So there are 3 obvious things that makes this Glock a lot different than a normal traditional Glock. Number 1, look how deep this slide cutout is for the optic. They did that so they could sit a bigger optic way lower down. And by doing so, they actually moved the iron sights to the front of the optic. On a normal Glock, the slide cutout is in front of the iron sights. Number 2, we have a switch, and not the switch that makes it blocka blocka. This is a switch that actually locks the slide. So now the slide is locked into place. Why might you want that to happen? Well, it makes it incredibly quiet when it keeps the shell, gases, sound inside of the slide, and you don't have that loud racking sound. In a traditional Glock, you can obtain the same type of quietness by holding your thumb in the back of it and pulling the trigger. By doing so, you're going to lock the slide in place manually, but on the Hush Puppy, they have that option for you right here with the switch. Number 3, we obviously have a very different styled suppressor. This suppressor does not have normal baffles. In fact, it has these wipes. It's almost like a wax plastic material, and they have a whole bunch of them throughout this tiny suppressor. And this is actually an extender if you want to make it twice as quiet, but it keeps all the gases and sound locked into here. Usually another suppressor, a baffle type suppressor, pushes those gases out differently, reducing the noise, but it still has a lot of sound. Yes, the bullet is literally going to travel through that, and it comes out that little X right there. I do not recommend using hollow points for this, and just in case that hollow point starts to open up, usually this tube is meant for replacement parts. So as soon as you use up these rings inside of here and they go bad, you have more to put inside. The question is, how many shots can you take before the wipes inside the suppressor go bad? And honestly, it's not great. You only get about 12 to 15 shots. If you were to mag dump this 21 round magazine, you would completely burn through these wipes. Now, you don't have to replace the entire suppressor, just the goods inside. So if you can't mag dump this thing and you have limited shots available to you before you have to replace the suppressor, what purpose does this Glock have? Well, it has one purpose in mind. That was quiet. As you guys can see, I left no trace behind. There was no sound being emitted from my firearm, and there's no shell casing being spewed out. Why? Because I locked the slide right here. If I were to unlock it, you can see that now my casing came out. Now, obviously, if you wanted to shoot it in the semi-automatic form without the lights lock, you can do that, and the gun will function like normal. This just locks it in place to have peak quietness. Now on a normal Glock, you don't have that switch right there, but you can obtain the same type of concept by putting your thumb over the back of the slide and firing. The reason why I don't like doing that is because you don't have a firm grip on your pistol when you have to hold it that way. It's very hard to aim, your thumb's in the way. You're more focused on what might happen to your fingers than you are aiming. This is why that slide lock on the Hush Puppy is actually pretty genius. The big question we have with this is it still accurate as the bullet is traveling through this many wipes? Well, we're gonna do 3 round shots, Glock 19, 9mm at 21 feet to get a base accuracy out of a normal Glock. Do you know what really sucks about that? It wasn't quiet. 3 shots at 21 feet, not bad for an average shooter like myself. Okay, 3 shots. I want to do it in the semi-automatic platform without the slide lock. That way you guys can see the shell casing coming out, and we'll see how much louder it actually is. I'm actually really impressed with that. I had this first shot right here. It made kind of a weird sound as it came out. I'm not sure why. And then my 3 follow-up shots. And if we look and compare this, the 3 round groupings are almost identical. Aside from the first shot that I took, I'm not sure why that one was so low. It sounded kind of funny. That might have been some ammo functions, not so much the gun. So in short, both these groupings are almost identical. I don't think we have a huge accuracy issue, even with the bullet passing through. But now the question is, how much slower is the bullet leaving the end of the suppressor as it goes through all those wipes inside? We're going to be testing subsonic ammo out of the base Glock. It should be traveling about 850 feet per second. 813, so that's false advertisement. Any guesses, Reese, what you think might happen?
Let's do 700.
750.
750.
I want to guess 750.
Okay.
Here we go. Hopefully I don't shoot my thing here. 809? There's no way.
Wow.
Wow is right.
That's crazy.
What I like about in the shorter configuration is it's not that long of a pistol. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, it's not that much bigger than my hand, which means I could probably concealed carry this thing. Let's take a few more shots downrange with only using a singular tube, the way that it was intended. Do one more shot in the head, dude. What I like about this Glock is it was literally built by B&T, engineered from the ground up to fire consistent and reliably, even when you're shooting it suppressed. We don't have any hiccups, the slide locks back like it's supposed to. We've had zero issues shooting it, whether I'm using it with a single suppressor or a double tube or no suppressor. It functions as it should. Let me know what you guys think. Is this something that you guys could see yourself using, or is this something kind of far-fetched and belongs in Hollywood movies?